This is Kaneisha Grayson, the author of Be Your Own Boyfriend, here with the wonderful, fabulous, and kind of like super famous Arielle Loren. Arielle, I want to make sure I don't miss out on any of your fabulousness, so if you would just take a few minutes to introduce yourself to everyone watching and just tell us who you are, what you're known for, what you're all about.
I am the editor-in-chief of Corset Magazine, the go-to magazine for all things sexuality. I am also a sexuality writer, and I freelance for various publications, from NBC's The Griot to Ebony to Clutch Magazine, for Grimoire Magazine, Jezebel, various different titles across the internet that you're probably familiar with. And I'm also a filmmaker, and I directed and produced the film Bideology, which is a documentary that explores women who date bisexual men.
That is awesome. I actually haven't seen Bideology yet, but I think that I've dated enough accidentally gay men and bisexual men that I think that I should watch that and see what that's all about. That was an amazing repertoire of things that you do, and I think that there is so much that I can learn from you. But today we're here to just talk to you about the idea of being your own boyfriend. You're a sexuality writer. I cannot wait to hear what you have to say. The first question I have for you... Oh, and Arielle, can you please tell everyone where you are doing your interview from?
I'm currently interviewing from Brazil. I'm exactly in Salvador, Bahia, which is kind of in the northern central region. And I've been traveling around the country since September, basically just on this journey to kind of rediscover myself and get closer to my creative side and write as much as possible.
Oh, that is awesome. Okay, Arielle, so when you hear the phrase, be your own boyfriend, what do you think of? What does that phrase mean to you?
You know, I think be your own boyfriend automatically translates for me into self-love. So for me, it's all about, not being dependent on someone else to fulfill your happiness and to make you content with your life, and basically taking your own pleasure in various ways into your own hands and just living your life the way that you really would like to.
That is beautiful. Can you give us some really specific ways in your own life that you've, lived out to be your own boyfriend?
I am the queen of self-love. The queen. First of all, I decided that I was going to up and move. At the time, I was actually dating somebody for about a year. But I decided that I was going to up and move, and I was going to go to Brazil. And I was just going to live the life that I always wanted to live. It wasn't about anybody else. It was purely about me. And I came here with just the expectation that I was going to really just work on myself and give myself the time that I had been lacking. I really wanted to focus on my creative side, which was, writing and, talking about my interests, which primarily revolve around sexuality. And as a result, I moved to Brazil, and I completely changed my lifestyle. I go to the beach whenever I want to. I meditate every morning. I read every morning. I have the time to talk to my friends and family. I have the time to... or I make the time, rather, to inspire others. And I really just love my life so much more than I did, when I was back in New York, kind of doing the typical 9-to-5 grind.
Now, I find it really interesting that you said that you were actually in a relationship for a year when you decided that you were going to move to Brazil. So I'm just speaking from my Kaneisha place. And after a year, I'd be like, where's my ring? We need to get married. What's going on? So I would just love to hear how you made the decision to leave, a one-year relationship to go to Brazil. I think a lot of women would be like, ooh, the ring's coming anytime soon. I don't want to mess anything up. Or just, oh, I've spent so much time already with this guy. Like, I don't want to, throw it all away. How did you decide to do that?
Well, actually, I was not in a relationship. I was dating someone.
Dating someone for a year. Yeah, sorry.
And it was, at times it was serious. At times it wasn't. It was actually pretty monogamous. We kind of had that thing going on. But for me personally, I was that girl maybe a couple of years ago or a year or two ago, where I was like, okay, so when are we going to settle down and, count down to the ring, and I'm looking forward to get married, and I'm trying to get this all over with because this is what I really want to do. And, of course, I'm actually someone who believes that love is the most important thing in the world. But I also believe that love manifests itself in many different ways. And when I actually went inward and I tried to really examine where is that craving coming from for me just to really want to be settled down so badly at the time. And it really was coming from the fact that I wasn't loving myself. And it may sound really like new agey and like super philosophical, but the truth of the matter is that that was the root. And I think that's the root for a lot of women. When care of ourselves, when we are denying ourselves daily experiences of pleasure, it really starts to manifest itself in really weird ways, and we start taking it out on other people and expecting other people to make us happy.
One of the phrases that you said that really hit for me was, women so often deny themselves the daily experience of pleasure. And there is actually a part of the book called An Orgasm a Day. It's one of my blog posts. And it just talks about how you should have a physical orgasm every day, but then also an experiential orgasm every day. So just something that really is just like an amazing kind of release of euphoria every day. Would you say, would you agree with that? You said daily experiences of pleasure.
Absolutely. I'm someone that when I study sexuality, and I particularly examine sexuality through my personal lens, I look at it from multiple perspectives. So I'm really big on how sexuality ties into body healing, and sexuality ties into spirituality and other aspects than just physical pleasure. Mm-hmm. So I truly believe that women are their most powerful when they're tapped into their sensuality, and that involves daily pleasure. So orgasms are essential. Oh my gosh, they release so much stress and tension, and I think they really kind of activate all of our senses all around our body if it's done right. That makes us very acute and very aware and very productive. And that's why I really, really, recommend it to, women across the board to learn more about orgasms. In the second issue of Corset, for my magazine, we did a whole issue on orgasms because I think it's just really, really important. I think so many women feel like it's unattainable, but it is absolutely necessary. So if you still have not figured out how to orgasm, you need to start looking at different resources so that you can truly, truly figure it out, because it's essential and it's just going to make your life so much better.
Okay, Arielle. So now what I want to know, and I think I already have an idea of what the answer might be, but I don't know the intricacies of this answer. The subtitle of the book is Decide to Be Happy, Unleash Your Sexy, and Change Your Life. And the book is actually organized in that 3 ways. So I would love to just hear, which of those do you feel the strongest in, and to just tell us about that.
I think that I am the strongest in deciding to be happy. Mm. I make a daily effort every single day to decide to be happy. So I do things on purpose that I know are going to bring me joy. So I know that when I wake up in the morning, it feels really good to read inspirational stuff. So I make a point to wake up and start reading a really awesome book, or I go on Facebook and I look, for really amazing Tumblr pictures, and I'm always posting on my Facebook wall, and really just anything that might inspire me to really just smile and go about my day in a really, really, really good mood. So I would say that, that's something I'm definitely proactive in. What I am most improved in, I would say, would be changing your life. Because I feel like, deciding to be happy is one thing, but when you actually change your life, which is really changing your lifestyle, for me. So that's, being radical and picking up and moving to a completely different country where I didn't know the language. And I just decided that I wanted to come here and, have a complete lifestyle shift. And that's something that took a while for me to get there. I graduated in 2010 from NYU, and then I didn't really make the move until a year and a half later, even though I had been talking about moving to Brazil for the last 2 to 3 years. So I would say changing my life is something that I definitely would give myself the most improved award in, because it's really just become something that I am determined to do, and it's an ever-evolving process at the same time.
Beautiful. This has been Kaneisha Grayson, author of Be Your Own Boyfriend, and the fabulous Arielle Loren of Corset Magazine.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for your time, Arielle. I'm going to stop the recording.